So hi, I'm Amber from Influence Updates on Instagram and TikTok, and tonight I am back live. I missed last week because I was sick with a sinus infection, in bed for 2 days. It was horrible. Lucky it wasn't contagious though. And yeah, now I'm back to talk about all things Australian influencers, including the biggest event of the last 2 weeks, which was Tammy Hembrow's divorce announcement. But I will get to that when it comes up in the questions, because no doubt it will. And yeah, I'm going to get started on all of the questions that were submitted on my story earlier today. Ellidy, Pullin and Brock, they are no longer following each other. Interesting, I didn't know that one, but yeah, she had an unofficial boyfriend. She hadn't fully announced him, but she had definitely shown him in photos. His name was Brock, and apparently they're not following each other anymore, so looks like they are Splitsville, I guess. Why does M. Davies' voice always sound like she smokes 6 packs a day? I don't think that's for any reason. I think she just naturally has a raspy voice. It's the same with Lucy Jackson. She also has a raspy voice, and also Izzy Armitage does. Interestingly, 2 of those 3 women have podcasts. So, you know, doesn't really matter what your voice sounds like, does it? You can still do a podcast. Thoughts on Adam Sullivan's girlfriend of 6 months trapping him with a pregnancy, flying dollars emojis? I don't think that a woman should be seen as trapping a man by having a baby. Like, he obviously chose to inside her, and that is what gets someone pregnant. So it definitely takes 2 to tango. So I think that they do seem very happy by this news. They posted a gender reveal, and I did find the video quite funny because she originally posted it in black and white, and you could very much tell that the gender was a girl because she seemed super excited and he was a bit like, oh shit. You could just tell from their reactions. He was more happy for her, I think, than happy with the gender reveal. I don't know, but I'm sure they'll both be happy no matter what the gender is. But yeah, they have only been together. I think I first posted about their relationship in October last year. So that's about 8 months. And yeah, her ex-boyfriend, he recently was on his TikTok saying that there was a 1 month crossover, and that he was alleging that Avalon cheated on him with Adam, and now is with Adam and having a baby. Yeah. Also, there's a person who organises wardrobes, and I noticed that they did Adam's house, and yeah, everything in their wardrobe just looks absolutely immaculate. If you can find that video, it's worth watching. I love that sort of stuff. Next question. Is Tammy Hembro still friends with Sopha Dopha after the wedding invite leak? I would say no. So if you could cast your minds back, when Sopha Dopha received her wedding invitation from Tammy and Matt, she posted it on her YouTube, and you could see all of the details to the venue, the date, everything, including the wedding website, which was public and everyone could go on there. And Sopha Dopha did not end up attending the wedding, so I assume she was uninvited and they are no longer friends. But I don't have proof of that. That's just my speculation. Sorry, I'm just going to read the comments as I go, I think. Oh, this person's saying they're thinking of Matt Zukowski and his voice. He can barely articulate his words and has a podcast. Well, yeah, good on him, honestly. Podcaster for oh my gosh, gross. Podcaster for everyone, even people burping or whatever I just did. This person's saying that Adam Sullivan has always seemed very keen to have kids. Yes, they both consented, not trapped. Well, some swimmers most likely got trapped. LOL. Yes, that is the comments on that one. Is Adele Marie having a social media break? Her content is so dry and boring. I don't think she's been having a social media break. I think she's been posting still, unless maybe this person is blocked, but they probably know that. Yeah, I'm not sure what is happening there. Any update on what happened to the Seasonal Sisters podcast with Alyssa Jane? Yeah, this was really crazy. So Alyssa Jane, she used to be friends with Alana Harris, who is now going through the court system for allegedly poisoning her daughter. Alyssa Jane has a podcast with her best friend. So there's Liz, and can't remember what her name is. It's similar. They've got like really similar names. Anyway, they've just started season 2. They're 3 episodes in, I believe. And then all of a sudden they've put out a statement saying the podcast is ending effective immediately. We're not finishing season 2. We are not doing the podcast anymore. And I think that it's obvious that they're not friends anymore, which is so, so sad. And it happens so often with influencer friendships, but I just can't think of any other reason for it. Otherwise, they would have probably got on there together and said, you know, we are still friends, but reasons beyond our control or whatever. But yeah, I think that is the only explanation, really. Another question about Alyssa. Sarah's Day. Yes, this one is huge tonight. So Sarah's Day posted that her collab with Who is Elijah, the perfume brand, has been canned. Are there any speculations as to why? So the owner, Raquel Burris, she has since come out and posted on the Who is Elijah stories as well, saying that there's no bad blood between her and Sarah, although Sarah says otherwise. There's no bad blood between them. They still love Sarah's Day, but the direction they want to take the brand in, which is international, hello Europe 2026, they said. So yeah, with that international expansion in mind, an influencer collaboration with Sarah's Day is no longer part of their brand vision, I suppose. That's just me paraphrasing. And I honestly can definitely see where the brand is coming from. So Sarah has mentioned that this collaboration started 2 years ago. They approached her 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, this would have made a lot of sense. So they were a smaller Australian perfume brand. When I say smaller, they were obviously still big enough to be working with Sarah's Day. But the owner, Raquel, she often talks on social media about how the turnover of her business is $20 million a year, I believe. I think that's what it was. Maybe it's a month, but it is a huge perfume brand now. And it's stocked in like Sephora and things. Anyway, I can see that 2 years ago, doing an influencer collaboration would have seemed like a great partnership for Who is Elijah, and that would have been their marketing vision. But now, yeah, they've really got their sights set on international expansion, and collaborating with Australian influencer Sarah's Day is not part of that overall marketing plan. Yeah, that's what makes sense to me. But Sarah's Day has now come forward in the comments, and she said that she's not been paid a single dollar for any of the work that she's done over the 2 years, which I thought that she would want to be financially compensated for all of that. She's also been promoting the brand over the last 2 years, which has all been for free now that the collaboration is over. She also mentioned that just recently she was voice memoing with the owner, Raquel, and she's surprised that the way the collaboration ended was the brand, Who is Elijah, emailed her team saying this is no longer going to go ahead, whereas she feels that Raquel should have contacted her personally and told her that, which I totally agree. And she's now openly unfollowed Who is Elijah, the brand. She's very upset by this, and it's totally fair that she's upset by it. And another thing with Who is Elijah is I've noticed they're really trying to align themselves with Sophia Richie Grange. So there was a whole series that the owner Raquel did where I think that Sophia must have liked one of their posts or something. It was something to do with Sophia. And then the owner, Raquel, she actually flew over to LA to personally deliver Sophia, like the whole collection of Who is Elijah perfumes, pretty much. So yeah, they're really trying to align themselves with those international people. All right, let's see what people are saying. Oh, this person's saying that it's beautiful perfume. I've never actually smelt the perfume, but I'm just not a perfume girly. I wish I was, but I'm just not. How is it a collab if she hasn't been paid at all for 2 years? That's charity work, not collab. I think that's because with a collab, it would normally work on sales, I think. So they would receive a percentage of the sales that they make. Or maybe, yeah, they get paid once it goes on sale. Something like that. But yeah, I think that would be normal not to get paid for a collaboration until it launches at least. I'm not sure, actually. Do you know why Michelle Battersby left Kik, which is owned by Steph Claire Smith and Laura Henshaw, after only a short period of working with them? No, they've kept this one very hush-hush. But yeah, it was years ago now that Michelle worked for them just for like a few months. She was their new, I think, head of marketing. And yeah, then she quit and ended up going elsewhere. And I don't believe that they're friends anymore. Like recently when Laura was talking about that Chris Griffin and his misogynistic podcast views, I noticed that Michelle got on her stories and was saying basically like, don't listen to Laura. She didn't name her or anything, but, you know, don't listen to these women who are trying to bring down stay-at-home mums that rely on their men financially. and she was like disagreeing with what Laura was saying. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. They don't appear to be friends, and they obviously once were. Who pays for Bella Clinton's flight? Indy says she has a sponsor. Yeah, I don't know. Bella likes to maintain this air of mystery about herself, and she does seem to live a life of luxury, flying herself around the world and things, but I don't know. I can only assume that there's something going on with high-paying clients of some sort. I don't know, but that could be totally wrong, so I don't know. That, to me, is what it sounds like. Indy says she has a sponsor, like a sugar daddy sort of thing. Indy dressed up as a hot Priceline worker. Wasn't nice for people that actually work there. I don't know why that wouldn't be nice for somebody to dress up hot, but yes, she did do that as part of the marketing for Booth Hair Care being stocked in Priceline stores. Oh, speaking of that, Collab, Kat Clark's skincare brand, Collab, has now been stocked in Atomica. And a lot of people don't know what Atomica is. So Atomica is owned by, I think it's Wesfarmers, the same people that own Priceline. And they've created this Atomica store, which is meant to be an elevated version of Priceline. So it's to fit in between Priceline and Mecca. And I have one in, not me personally, but there is one in Geelong, and I've been to it, and it is really, really nice. It's a really good store, and I think that it'll expand a lot. I think that there's 4 in Australia at the moment, so not many. But yeah, I'm excited to see how that one goes. This person is also asking, I wonder if Mallow, Cartia Mallan's new Matcha brand, is just old stock that she didn't sell, rebranded. I don't think it would be, because so Cartia Mallan and Ashton Wood previously had a Matcha brand together, and their friendship broke down just prior to launching. They did still launch, but then within about 2 months they closed down the brand. I believe they had a clearance sale, and I don't think that this would be the same stock, because it would be probably a year ago now that happened. And yeah, I just don't think that would happen, because Ashton would have owned half of that stock as well. And also it was shipped from Australia, but Cartia now lives in London. So I wonder where the new brand Mallow is shipped from. I saw that she did a collaboration with, I think it was Free People at Glastonbury Festival, and I thought that was so cool. Like, Cartia Mallan had a pop-up matcha store in the Free People tent at Glastonbury accommodation. Like, it's not in the festival, it's outside of the festival. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. Okay, more about Sarah's day. Sorry, I'll read the comments in front of me again. I see the Sabo girls are in Greece promoting their new fashion range too. The ads look gorgeous. They are really, really good at their advertising. They do such high quality advertising, high quality collaborations. Their clothes look great. I don't buy online, so I would never buy them, but they do look like a really good brand. Saw in Facebook Tea Time group, Matt K made an Insta post having a dig at Tammy Hembro. Got so much flack he took it down. I don't know who Matt K would be. There are 2 Matts involved, but yeah, not sure about that one, sorry. What else have we got? The Matt Zukowski post was reported. Oh, okay, so it was Matt Zukowski posted about Tammy and it was taken down. It was someone posting about his smash therapy. Okay, I don't know why that would be taken down unless there's some sort of legal thing. Or actually, I think they're trying to be a lot more careful now because their page got shut down for hate speech or something, like racism and hate speech, something like that. And then it got put back up. A lot of Facebook pages did get shut down, including Outspoken Facebook page. But yeah, they're all back up again now. But I feel like Tea Time have gotten really strict with like their anonymous posting and trying to avoid potential legal ramifications, because they don't want to be the next Tattle, who the owner got sued recently for having defamatory posts on his website. That could happen to Tea Time potentially, or maybe it would happen to Facebook. I'm not sure. What have we got? Oh, apparently you can't see the writing on my screen because of my blanket. Makes it too hard to see. All right. Let me just film like that, I guess. Okay. Has anyone bought anything from the Martha Kay collaboration with Style Runner? Not that I know of. I feel like this is old, or is this her second collaboration, or has she just been leaking it for over a year now? I'm not sure, but it looks like I've seen it before. I'm confused about that. Does anyone else think Brittany Hockley speaks rudely to Keisha on Life Uncut? I've never actually heard that before, but yeah, no one's ever mentioned to me that they feel that way. Why was Laura not one of Britt Hockley's bridesmaids? That's an interesting question. I didn't look into who her bridesmaids were, but maybe she picked people that she's been friends with since her childhood rather than Laura, who she's more recently friends with. I don't know. That is interesting. But it obviously hasn't affected their friendship. They're still really tight. Do you know why Sarah's Day doesn't promote Body Bloom? Yes, that is because she no longer works for the brand. Why is it that everyone goes after the man after Tammy's breakups? Why is she always painted the victim? Interesting, that question, because I think the opposite. I think that she is always attacked. And then I'm like, well, why are the men not getting attacked for this? So that's interesting that somebody sees it the opposite way to what I do. But yeah, I mean, it takes two to tango. And also, people are just so caught up. I'm guessing it's not the people watching my live right now, but like all Tammy's haters are so caught up in hating her for having 3 relationships by the age of 30. But the thing is, she's not married. Well, she was married. But do you know what I mean? Like other influencers, like Georgie Stevenson, for example. Yes, she's been with the same guy ever since she's been an influencer. She got married to that guy and she's still with him. Ashley Bynes, same sort of story. But Tammy is not doing that, and she's instead going through these relationships, and that's okay. Like, not everybody finds the person they end up with forever when they're young and then stays with them forever. And that's something that I like about Tammy. It's very interesting. I do think, though, that she thrives when she's single. Yeah, I definitely think that. Maybe it's just that she provides more content. No, I think it's because then she has more focus on her businesses and things, and she just seems to really thrive. I don't know. Even on her holiday in New Zealand, she just seems to be having the time of her life. I can't believe she bungee jumped. I knew it was going to happen. As soon as she said she was going to be doing something, I'm like, oh, she's definitely bungee jumping or skydiving. But yeah, she did 3 jumps and she didn't look phased at all. She is brave, that's for sure. Any ideas how many followers Laurina Fleure has lost since her unstable rants recently? I don't know how many followers she's lost necessarily, but I did see that Laurina Fleure is claiming that her now 2.5-year-old, when they received the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine a year ago, they developed autism. She has since backtracked on that and said that she agrees that autism is something people are born with, so her child didn't develop autism, but actually developed autistic behaviours such as avoiding eye contact, throwing tantrums, and becoming nonverbal. So she's definitely backtracked on what she originally said. But I don't know, it's just another one of those anti-vaccine conspiracy theory sort of posts. And yeah, she probably will lose a lot of followers for that. Oh, thoughts on Bec Judd and her botched surgery? What's going on here and does she need it? I haven't seen any botched surgery from Bec Judd. Speaking of Bec Judd, she's going to be on the Stella magazine cover this weekend, which is the lift out that's in newspapers. And I think that she's going to be announcing her new business project, which is with her friend Jessie Roberts, I think her name is. She's blocked me. So yeah, they did like a teaser video, which was kind of like an old-fashioned sort of style to the song Simply Irresistible. And Martha Kay commented on it saying that she thinks the new project's going to be a podcast. And I think that would actually make a lot of sense for those two. I would listen. They'd just be talking about their rich people problems, no doubt, and their $1,200 Celine hats. But I think it would be interesting to listen to. And yeah, that would make sense if I was thinking maybe the title of the podcast will be Simply Irresistible, and that's why they did it to that song. Don't know. We'll see on that one. But yeah, I imagine that it will be announced in the Stella magazine this weekend. It'll just all tie in together, no doubt. Tammy and Matt made Crazy Days and Nights blind items and revealed as them. Not sure what that means, but did they post blind items about themselves and then it was revealed that they actually sent them in themselves? I can't imagine Tammy doing that. I could imagine Matt doing that, but Tammy wouldn't be sending in blind items about herself to a page. I really just don't think so. Have you noticed that Anna always posts a Goldie B review after her stories? Yes, she does. It is a very smart business move. And yeah, this person's obviously noticed. I've obviously noticed. But yeah, I think that is really smart in terms of business. I do wish, like, I'm actually really missing her content because I feel she's just doing a few photos every now and then. She's not getting on her stories every day and talking like she used to, and she's not been doing her podcast. And I know she's on maternity leave, so it's totally fair, but I'm really missing her content. Has Clef Smith had plastic surgery? She looks amazing. I believe she had breast implants when she was younger, and then that's never been confirmed, so that's just a rumour. And then I believe she's also had breast explant in her more recent years. That is also another rumour, but she looks amazing because she is genetically blessed. She is a model and she keeps really fit and healthy, and yeah, she does look amazing. What has happened to Indy Clinton's new page, You're Not a Non? I hear nothing about it anymore. That's so true. I haven't heard about that in probably a week. I don't know. Maybe she's just taking a break from it. She's turning 28 tomorrow and she is currently at Thredbo in the snow with her kids. And yeah, probably that. And she's also been focusing on the Boof Hair Care launch. I'm still yet to find out what her involvement with Boof Hair Care is, because we've been told she started out as an ambassador, a paid ambassador. She is no longer a paid ambassador, but she is involved with the company in some other way, and she's got it in her Instagram bio. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finding out what her involvement is there. This person's loving Georgie Stevenson's content lately and her Lux life. I really enjoy it too. A lot of people are triggered by it and say that, you know, she's bragging or whatever and making people feel like shit, but I really enjoy watching her content. I bought one of her courses recently. She had an end of financial year sale and there was a podcasting course, and I thought, it's only $55. So I bought that, and I thought, even if I have no plans to start a podcast because I just don't have the time, and I would have to like get a producer and then meet with them every week, and I just don't have the time for that at the moment with 2 young kids. But I thought that could even just give me tips for doing my live streaming and stuff. So yeah, I've got to actually do the course though. That's the problem. Time is something that I really struggle with. Sorry, go back on the screen now. Oh, yeah, apparently Laurina Fleure has also cured her son. I forgot to mention this. She says that she's cured her son of autism caused by the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine by detoxing him from heavy metals through his diet. That's what she's claiming. Yep. Why did Jessie Roberts block you? I don't know. I didn't even know who she was, and then one day someone sent me something of hers and I couldn't access it and realised I was blocked. So yeah. That is really weird. Oh, this person's saying the TikTok that is called Celebrity, T-E-A, Celebrity Blinds, I'm going to screenshot this, hashtag is the username, and look for the date 25th of June, and it's number 8 that she reveals it's Tammy and Matt. Okay, so we've got to look up the TikTok, Celebrity, T-E-A, Blinds _ All right, I'll put all this in subscribers, by the way. So if you're a subscriber, don't worry about remembering that. Interesting. Thoughts on Tayla Broad posting on stories asking for someone to bake a cake for her daughter in Perth when her family is in Perth? Why can't she Google like the rest of us? My thoughts are that she's wanting a free cake. That's 100% what she's doing, because, yeah, that's what she would do otherwise, is ask her family, go to a bakery, Google, but yeah, definitely wanting a free cake. Oh, that's what other people are saying too, that she's fishing for freebies. Did you watch Parental Guidance and Influencer Pro Tech Family Courtney _KLK? Thoughts? No, I haven't watched her season. I did watch Kat Clark's season, but I'm going to screenshot that one as well because I actually really like that show. So I might give that a watch one day. Do you know if Bella Valeris and Jade Tunchi are still friends? I think that they're still acquaintances. It was Fashion Week last year or the year before. Like, everyone was thinking they weren't friends anymore, and then they were sitting together at that. So that made it appear that they were still friends, but I haven't seen them together since then. So I think they're just civil, but maybe not friends. Someone's asking who is Jessie Roberts. Yeah, she's Bec's business partner in this new project that they're working on. She's also Bec's friend, and their kids go to school together. Oh, this person's saying that Tammy Hembro asked for kids' ski clothes recommendations, and that was to get a freebie. Yeah, I've noticed that Cinnamon Baby sent her a lot of stuff, and she's been tagging them in the stories. So yeah, I assume that was gifted. Tammy never discloses ads, so we will never know. Okay. Someone keeps asking, do I know why Seasonal Sisters podcast ended? But I have spoken about that one already. You can watch it on YouTube or Spotify or Apple after this, when I always upload it. Thoughts on influencers selling products that are gifted to them to advertise? Personally, I think it is just ick. I mean, financially, I don't give a shit about it. I don't give a shit about the tax implications. That's what most people seem to care about, but I actually could not care less. But the reason it gives me the ick is because if you're aligning yourself with a brand, say Forever New, for example, if they're going to send you clothes and pay you to advertise them, and then you're going to sell them, that looks really bad on you. And why would Forever New want to work with you ever again? So I just think it's a really bad move in terms of the longevity of an influencer's business and relationships with brands. And if I was looking for an influencer to promote my clothing brand, that I don't have, but if I did have one, and I knew that some influencers were being paid to promote clothes and then selling them, I would not work with that influencer. So that is my opinion on that. How does the hair thing Gretty Rose does work? Is it a scam? It's called Monet, and it is a multi-level marketing business, they like to call it. But basically what it is a pyramid scheme, people like to call it. So Gretty is up here. She recruits people who then recruit people, who then recruit people, and everybody along the way buys the hair care, and then everybody gets like a cut of the commissions right up to the top, to the main people who get the free holidays and the cars and all the fancy things Gretty gets. And yeah, they all buy the hair care along the way, because to differentiate a pyramid scheme from an MLM, there has to be a product involved. But that's what it is. And it is true that, yes, 1% of people make money out of it. And if you have good sales skills, you could probably make money out of it. But 99% of people do not make money out of it. Matt Zukowski posting about dating, then deleting and changing the wording 10 minutes later. Yeah, so he posted about dating himself, and then I remember Outspoken posted it, and they said, does he mean that he's now going to be dating himself, or that he's now open to dating? And then people were weighing in on that in the comments, and then he deleted his story and made it clear that yes, he was talking about dating himself and glowing up sort of thing. So yeah, he obviously has been looking at the posts that they were making. Why are influencers still filming whilst driving? The midwife mama filming, including her Speedo. I don't know. It's always going to be a thing. I honestly think it's compulsory for influencers to film themselves while driving. And yeah, it's extremely dangerous. And a lot of the time they even have children in the car. And also the amount of influencers who post their children that aren't in the appropriate car seats. Who was it the other day? Sarah's Day. She actually posted she bought a new car and drove home from the car dealership, and her eldest son was in the middle seat with no booster or anything, and people were commenting on it saying, why is he not in a booster? He's not 7. And she said, oh, it was just a quick trip home. He's normally in a booster. We just didn't have one in the car. And it's like, well, yeah, but that's illegal and unsafe. But it's always just going to be a thing. They're never going to obey the rules, I guess. All right, what else are people saying? The Hembros sell all their clothes on Depop. Yes, they definitely do. I post that sometimes on subscribers actually, but it depends. It's totally fine to sell your clothes on Depop as an influencer, but it depends if you're paid by a brand to promote those clothes that you then sell. That's when I think that it looks bad. Any news about Sammy Robinson? Well, she's definitely hard launched her new boyfriend, Sean Stevenson, who is actually her ex-boyfriend. So she was dating Sean, broke up, dated someone else, broke up, and now she's back to dating Sean. But yeah, she's been posting pictures of him, so looks like that is getting serious, which is good. Oh, there's an article in the Herald Sun website about Melbourne's most eligible female influencers. Okay, screenshotting that too. I'm definitely going to read that one. I have subscribed to News Corp recently, and it's honestly life-changing. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, because it includes like the Herald Sun, the Geelong Advertiser. It includes pretty much all the news websites, and yeah, I'm really happy about that. Where are your pajamas from? They are from Peter Alexander, of course. Oh, a few people are saying that, well, one person saying they met Jade at a restaurant and she was really rude to the staff and demanded specific meals when it was all paid for. I mean, I don't know if that's a bad thing to demand specific meals even though it's all paid for. Maybe she has allergies or something. Don't know. Someone's asking why my sister is selling her paint and sip studio. That's not my story to tell, but I'm sure if you message her, she would talk to you about that. This person saying they had an influencer ask for a free laser at her work one time. Yeah, I imagine it's probably a good way for influencers to get work. I don't know. Interestingly, someone messaged my sister's paint and sip studio recently saying the same thing, that they were an influencer and wanting a free event, like a 10-person event or something. Also, today, Chemist Warehouse, they announced that they're doing their brand showcase next month, and you can buy tickets as the public. There is a public version of the influencer event, and you can buy tickets to it. But I got invited last year, and it was honestly one of the best days of my life. This was to the influencer one, and I met like Phoebe Burgess, who is an influencer, and Kat and Deja Clark, which was so exciting for me. I did go on my own, and then I saw that is coming back. So I emailed Chemist Warehouse people and I said, can I please come again this year? And they said, yes, we'll send you an invite. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I haven't got the invite yet. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to chase it up. A bit awkward. But my point is that, yes, sometimes people ask for things and it works. Like how I asked to go to that and it does work. So I see why an influencer might ask for a free laser session. And if this person says no, maybe a different brand, like a different shop will say yes. Why do all influencers go to World Gym in Burleigh? I don't know. I've never actually heard of that one. Screenshotting that one as well. Maybe it's owned by an influencer. Looking for other questions. What's happened with Madison Woolley? Haven't heard from her in ages. Yeah, so she's shut down her podcast with Caitlin Rodriguez. And they've now started up a creative agency. So that's what they're calling it. It's called Purr. And they're also doing wedding photography and videography. So yeah, I don't really understand what a creative agency is. Like they said that they'll consult with brands or personal people of where they want to take their brand and help them come up with social media ideas and things. And yeah, they'll travel for weddings and film your wedding. I do think that they are very creative with their content and they do create really good reels and things. And Madison's worked with huge brands like, YSL. What else has she worked with? I don't know, like lots of designer brands and things. So I think that they would be very, very good at it. They're just going to have to promote themselves really well. And then hopefully they can turn it into an amazing business. I don't know if she's still with Jonathan though. I haven't heard any update on that. Is Josh Miller's dad selling the property due to separation? I was asked this earlier this week and I think that might be the case. So this person pointed out that when Steph talks about Josh's parents' property, she's now started calling it Josh's dad's property. And I think that they went and stayed at his house or something. And she said, we're staying at Josh's dad's house rather than Josh's parents'. So yeah, it sounds like something might have happened there. I don't want to speculate too much. They aren't influencers themselves, but that's why I'm just speculating on what Steph has actually said. What's happened between Gabby Cross and Jackie? That'd be Jackie Alexander. That's probably a few months ago now, but there's all sorts of rumours, including that Jackie got really drunk at Gabby's wedding and said something. but Jackie has denied that. The Happy Hour podcast, they mentioned that they had 2 friends who recently are no longer friends anymore because of some drama that happened at a wedding. And I thought, well, that really ties in with this story. It's probably about them, but I don't know. We've never got confirmation on that. But yeah, let's see. Jackie's wedding is upcoming later this year. Let's see if Gabby does a pregnancy announcement to overshadow Jackie's wedding. I think that that's the pettiness that would probably happen. It would be sad for Jackie, but it'd be quite funny to see. What else have we got? Oh, someone's wanting a list of the most bogan influencers in Australia. What I really want to make is basically an Excel spreadsheet that has all of the Australian influencers in it, which would be thousands. And then, like their partners' names, their kid's first name, maybe what podcast they have, what business they have, and just make it an Australian influencer guide. Maybe I'd need to make it a website, like the website famousbirthdays.com.au. I need to make it something like that, but obviously it'd be a huge project. I'd have to put ads in it to monetize it. Just like Google ads, you can just embed them in a website. Don't know. That would be really cool to do and really fun. Oh, Aussie Influencer Watch, they're saying Sammy has a habit of going back to her exes. She went back to Jordan Simi as well. Yeah, she did. That is so true. Sarah's Day and Who is Elijah? The owner Raquel put up a story, it's giving tantrum. Did Sarah post something further and delete it? This sounds like it was meant to go on Close Friends, but accidentally was posted publicly. Sarah has the shits because Who is Elijah has used years of her time and hasn't paid her anything for it. Honestly, fair. I would too. That would be really disheartening. And also, she could have been collaborating with a different brand during that time. Like, she's lost earnings potential as well as having earned nothing. Per is the name of a swingers club in Melbourne. Fun fact. Madison Woolley and Caitlin Rodriguez, take note. All right, well, I think I'm up to date with most of the questions. If I didn't answer your question, please DM me. And thanks all for joining, and I will see you all next week. Bye. Hope you have a good weekend.